and I want to introduce you to all my honeybees. Tell us what you use the smoke for.
A little bit of smoke keeps them calm, and it also kills the alarm pheromone. I can move them around with my finger. Now there's bees, they're eating honey off my finger. So, you know, bees don't automatically run out and sting you. See, this one's fanning, pheromone.
That means danger?
Yeah, she's telling the other ones we got an intruder in the hive. See, she got her little bum up in the air, and she's fanning. And that's the smoke. She's giving off an alarm pheromone, an odor. And the smoke that we put in masks it, so the one over here doesn't know that she's doing it. We can see if we can rub her back and see if we can calm her down. Now she's upset.
This package is really basically just a few pounds of bees that a lot of them didn't know each other until they got thrown in this box in Georgia, probably about 24 hours ago. And there's a can of syrup that you can see in the center for food to transport them. So most of them are around the can eating. And then underneath this panel, there is a queen in a cage that has been put in there, and she's a mated queen.
The bees, if you would order them through the mail, they would come in a box just like that. And the postman will deliver them to your house. Usually the post office calls and tells you come get your damn bees out of here.
So I'm trying to get them to the bottom of the cage just a little bit, because what I'm doing here is I am going to pry open this panel, which is holding in the syrup, but it's also holding in that queen cage. So just really, really quickly, I'm going to pull out the queen cage, and I'm going to put that right back on top again. Kind of hold them in there, and you can see she's very dark in color, and she has that white dot on her, which means she is a 2016 queen. They marked her at the apiary where she came from, and she's got a couple of attendants in the cage with her that'll feed her, and then she is held in by candy and a cork here. And you can see the other bees are kind of attracted to her since she's a queen. And the other thing that I do is I go ahead, because this is not bees in my backyard and I'm not going to be over here for a few days. I'm going to take this piece of cork out, and she's still in there with some candy. So she'll be in good shape. If they like her, they will eat through this candy and let her out. But to give them time to adjust to her, we let them do that part. So we can just set her over here for a minute. We don't need her right this second. I'm going to put her in the shade. So I'm going to try and get the bees down to the bottom. The can is going to come up. This is a can of feed. You can use it for somebody else. And then so I'm going to see if I have enough room to wedge her in this open space, and if I don't, I'll take a frame out. They give you this tab to make it easy. I'm always concerned about her having enough air, so I prefer to wedge her in just a little bit sideways, because she's getting all of her air kind of through that screen. A little tab on top here that's attached to her cage, and it's just kind of for, you know, for holding her. That's how she was attached in on the cage. Occasionally I'll have one that actually kind of falls in a little bit, but you know what? it generally doesn't hurt her.
What he's doing right there?
Which one?
Right.
Right here?
Where they kind of put their butt in the air.
This one right here. Yeah, that's what she's doing. She's calling the signal. Here. They've got their own scent in this box, and there's also a little bit of remaining queen scent in this box, so it takes them just a little while to figure out, oh, we belong in here now. But it really is a very short amount of time before they get themselves organized and kind of settle in. So
Why is it cool to get the package bees as opposed to buying a nuke?
it's a little bit cheaper, and there is an advantage if you're a newer beekeeper and you don't have a lot of already drawn foundation. These bees don't have anything to do until that queen starts laying but go out, gather food, and draw foundation, and you're feeding them syrup. So they can actually, just like a swarm, draw a lot of foundation for you. But mainly it's a price consideration, and generally you do get packages about a month earlier than you can buy a nucleus colony from someone. So you can get a little bit of an early start with a package. These just happen to come in rather late. And here we have a nice angle in the front. The bees are starting to climb in the front of the box through the entrance, so they're kind of getting the idea of where they're supposed to be.
So what do you do now? How often will you come back here, and what are you going to be looking for?
I'm going to come back probably in 2 or 3 days, depending on the weather, and make sure that queen is released. If I come and she's released, I will just pull the cage out of there, and then I'll check again next week to see if she started laying. If they haven't let her out, but they're not acting aggressive towards her, I have to make a judgment call and see if I want to leave her in there for a little while longer, or if I want to take a nail and just knock the rest of the candy out of the plug out of there that's holding her in right now.
How do you know if they're acting aggressively?
They do a behavior that's called bawling, and they will actually be all over the cage and they will be trying to sting her. So, and if that happens with a package, that could mean that there was already a queen that they inadvertently put in the package without knowing it when they were filling the box with bees, and that they had accepted that queen. And if that was the case, if she was still alive, I could take her and use her someplace else.
Yeah.
And let them have the queen that they've chosen. So,
what about the comb? What kind of stuff are you looking for with the worker bees?
I'm just looking to see if I see them flying in and out and they're actually working with the sunny weather. They will be. If I see them bringing in pollen, I'll know that they're in good shape. And then once the queen is released, I'm looking for eggs to make sure that she's laying.
All right, take a look at this. See if you can see the queen.
See, you can't see her because she's all got bees all over the top of her.
She is.
Here she goes.
Okay. Keep looking.
Right here.
I lost her on my viewfinder. Oh, she's so fast.
She's just looking for some place to lay an egg. She's an old, experienced queen. She don't care what we're doing. She's just backing in and laying eggs.
The only way I can usually spot her is to see she's moving faster than everybody.
Yeah.
Although I just lost her again in this
She's right
viewfinder.
here.
Oh yeah.
She's a little lighter colored. She's crossing over the other side now. If she was a young queen, we'd have to be careful doing this because they'll fly. But you get an old experienced queen, all she wants to do is lay eggs. Okay?
Okay.
Got her?
No. Okay, here's the queen. Keep looking. There we go. I think she moves kind of differently than the rest. Oh, one's in my leg. Okay. Here's a couple of little guys. These are boy bees trying to climb out of the cells. I think the females look like they get out faster.
It's,
My imagination.
yeah.
Welcome to the world, little guys.
We give him a little boost. He's hot.
A little wobbly at first.
And there's a couple here that'll be right out behind him.
Dr. Fitzroy.
Yeah. What does Bill Crosby say? I need a salad fork? He'll get out on his own. I'm just doing this to do it. Okay.